Alright guys, so we're here on the third podcast with Jordan Wallace today. Today is going to be talking about everything from like Jordan's kind of rise from where he kind of started in CrossFit to where he is now in terms of his box. He obviously owns Reebok CrossFit Tyneside, and this obviously took a big transformation. So yeah, we're just going to talk about you. I know you don't like doing that, but we're going to talk about you for a little bit. So first off, when did you get into CrossFit? Just tell me about your whole story.
Yeah, so I found CrossFit randomly, it was in like a men's fitness article.
All right.
I was going on holiday with, I think with me mum and dad. I was like sat in the airport, and I bought men's fitness as you do, you know, when you're like a 17-year-old kid. Yeah. And I was flicking through it, and I seen this article, which was like this new fitness craze. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, that looks pretty cool. At this point, I was like kind of finishing running. Was kind of done with that. I kind of achieved everything that I wanted to achieve. And I was looking for something new, not necessarily a sport, just looking for like another method of training, another way of training. So got back from holiday, Googled CrossFit gyms near me, went down, found this gym, started training, and then after about 6 months of doing it, the guy who owned it at the time was like, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna go to America, so I'm gonna sell the gym. So I was like sort of in my second year at sixth form, and I didn't really want to go to uni, and I ended up buying the kit off him. So I bought all the kit, bought the name off him.
Right.
You know, affiliated as myself.
What was it called then?
So it was CrossFit Tyneside then.
Right, okay.
So affiliated as myself. This was back in 2009, late 2009, early 2010. And then finished sixth form. Didn't go to uni. Took a gap year. And within that year, really just worked. I worked as a PT in a health club as well at the time. So I would kind of go there during the day, and then I'd go to the gym on a night time. And, you know, we only had like 5-6 members at a time. Yeah. And that was that for like probably a year. And then I went to uni. So I paid my fees, went to uni, was there for like literally 2 weeks. And I just thought, you know what, this is not for me. Right. This is not my scene.
Yeah. What were you doing at uni?
So I was doing sport exercise science. Right. It was standard degree. What are you doing? That, sport and exercise science. So exactly. So I kind of turned up, went to like one of my first lectures, and I was sat there and I was just thinking, you know what, I'm literally wasting my time and wasting my money. Yeah. So I kind of went home, had a chat with my mum and my dad, and I was like, look, I don't want to do it. It's not what I want to do. And luckily for me, they were really supportive, and they just said, look, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. But, you know, you're not going to be sat around doing nothing. You're going to have to get a job, or you're going to have to, I mean, I was working at the time, or you're going to have to do something. So I thought, well, I've got like this gym, this CrossFit thing. Let's give it a proper crack. So we moved from where we were actually down near the coast at this point, and we moved into town under one of the arches next to Metal Radio Arena, which they're no longer there now. Yeah. We took one of them on, and we were there for probably about 12 months, and then the opportunity came up to become Reebok affiliated. So obviously we snatched that with both hands and went for that. And then really from becoming Reebok affiliated and kind of deciding that this is what I was going to do for life, we went from having like 15, 20 members to having like 100 pretty quickly. Wow. Within, I'd say, about 6 months. So then we expanded and took a bigger arch further down the road, Arch 1.
Remember that, yeah.
We were in there for about a year and a half, and we outgrew that. We're up to about 150 members. Yeah. And then we moved over to Hoyt Crescent, which is actually just over the road from here. Yes. And we were there for like 2 years. There from 2014 to 2016. And we kind of like fluttered around that 150, 160 mark for a long, long time. And then this unit that we're in now came available. So we took a big move from where we were to where we are. And that was in December 2016 or like January 2017. We moved here, so it's like 14,500 square foot. Yes. Big facility. Yeah. We've got a gym side, we've got a CrossFit area, and we've got like an open gym / boot camp hall on the far side. And we've kind of grown from that 150 members to, you know, we're just shy of 800 now. Wow. Over the period of, well, coming up 3 years. Yeah. 3 years in January.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And that's it. And obviously, you know, been really lucky that I've had like really good people around us. Obviously, my missus, and then the guys that work here and work with us, like they're unbelievable. So they have kind of helped the business grow, but also like supported me when I wanted to be an athlete. You know, I was really lucky that I had people around us that when I didn't really want to come in and coach because I had different you know, different aspirations. I want to be an athlete. They were there to be like, oh, well we'll take it over. We'll look after it, you know. Yeah. So I was really lucky with that, to have that support, which was great. But obviously, as things have changed and we've moved to this kind of bigger facility, the kind of athlete in us has kind of took a step back and more like focused on the business and focusing on making sure that the place, you know, is going from strength to strength.
That's quite selfish, actually, in a way. So in terms of you going forward now, so you've said that you've taken maybe a little bit of a backseat from competing. Yeah. Will you get back in that over the next few years? Maybe sanctionals or.
I've always like toyed with it. But you know, when I was training full time, I was training like 25, 26 hours a week, and it's like a massive commitment. It's
How
a
do you
huge
coach
commitment.
around that? Like,
well, at the time, I wasn't really coaching, to be honest. You know, I was maybe doing like 2 days a week, so I would coach either a morning or I'd coach an evening. Right. But that was it. You know, I was lucky enough that we had coaches that we could afford to pay to do that. So, and we're in the same boat now, but. This business is like it's a different beast. You know, there's always something going on. There's always something that needs done. And sometimes it's very hard to take a step back and say, well, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to train. Yeah, it is tough sometimes. Yeah. So we're not quite there yet, but I think, you know, over the next year, 18 months, we'll probably get there. Yeah. And I'll be able to go, well, actually, you know what? If I want to give it another crack, I could. You know, we're chatting about it earlier on, and I have no doubt that if I give it 100% again. You know, I could be up there, being in the top 10, the top 15 in the UK.
Oh, easy. I mean, you mentioned there, like, your open score, like this year, I mean, you didn't train and you were like 38th.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great.
And I mean, I was like 42nd last year and I had one terrible event after Sid. Came back.
Was that your back?
No, I'll be honest with you, I was just wrecked. We'd done Sid Saturday, Sunday, came back on the Sunday night and we did the workout on the Monday morning. Oh, and it was rowing and wall balls again. Cheers, Dave. Yeah. And I just did like terribly. I came like 500th. It was terrible. Yeah. And then I had like 4 really good weeks after that, but I just couldn't recover from that bad start.
You're not going to be.
You just can't. It's too many points. So I was like 42nd last year, 38th this year. So I mean, slight improvement, but you know, I think if I had the time to train a little bit more, consistently, I could be up there.
Well, I've got no doubt that you can. You've just obviously got to figure out. I mean, you've such a huge gym.
It's a big space.
I mean, if you're just shy of 800 members, I know for me personally on Chelsea Street, we've got just shy of 200. And that in itself, and obviously there's me and Sam Marshall that run that in itself is so hard to manage the admin side of everything. You listen to people on a daily basis of all their issues, obviously all the program side of everything. You then want to coach, so you want to train, you coach 3 or 4 hours. Like,
yeah, I mean, to be honest, I am lucky because we've got people. I am and Vanessa as well, who's my fiance, business partner. She manages all of the admin side. She does all the payroll, HR. She does all that stuff. So without her, it would be impossible. Yeah. Literally, we'd probably have to close down. Yeah. So she does all that stuff, which is great. And then the programming here is we do it from Warrior Programming. So Warrior Programming.
Is that all just box programming?
We follow the box programming. Right, okay. So Tim and myself and Paul write that. So you know, there's like certain things that are kind of taken care of by other people as well, which is great. And then obviously we've got a great coaching team as well. You know, our coaches are fantastic. Yeah. They're really good. You know, they're good coaches, great people.
What are the classes that you run here?
In terms of myself, or in terms of the classes?
Yeah, like all the.
So we have obviously CrossFit classes. Yeah. Then we have bootcamp classes as well. Yeah. The bootcamp's like similar intensity to CrossFit, but we don't have any barbells in there.
Is that like guys who are fresh out the on-ramp type of?
Kind of, yeah. So that's one route that people would take. But a lot of it is for people who kind of want the same intensity. They want to come in and train hard, but they're not necessarily bothered about learning how to do a snatch or a pull-up or a muscle-up. They just want to come in and train hard. That's kind of where we'd put those people. Yeah. Then we have intro classes, which is our form of on-ramp. So that's 6 classes over 2 weeks. Right. And we learn different skills each thing. So like if you do week 1 session 1, you'd cover like squats, for example. Yeah. And then week 1 session 2, you would readdress the squats at the beginning, and then you'd learn something new on that remainder of the session. And each of those is like learning some skills. You do a workout at the end. Yeah. And that's over 2 weeks. And then after that 2 weeks, then you could join a class. So we have those, and then on a Thursday night we have specialty classes as well. So we do like endurance, gymnastics, gun club, which is just like bicep curls and bench press, and then weightlifting as well.
Yeah,
so we have those 3.
Yeah, spot on.
No, we have a comp class on a Saturday morning as well.
Yeah, I was going to mention that the comp class, that is quite popular. Opening times, are you flat out all the time?
So we're open pretty much all day. So with having the kind of global gym side as well, the demands of those members are entirely different to demands of like a CrossFit member, for example. So
you're like in a kind of weird situation where you have got a full-on global gym.
Yeah, I mean, in the we're open 6:30 till 9, Monday to Friday. We're open on weekends as well, which is like totally different for most boxes. Most boxes are like open for 3 hours in the morning and then they're gone.
I know.
So we're open like 8 till 6 on a Saturday and 9 till 5 on a Sunday. So they're long, substantial hours, and that's why I've got such a big coaching team. Because we need it. We've got 15 members of staff, I think.
If you're in a good position where you've obviously got a massive coaching team, but if you've got if there's some box owners out there, listen, who maybe there's just 2 or 3 of them coaching, what advice would you give them for being really super efficient with how they run the box? Is there any kind of advice that you give to someone who's maybe just bought an affiliate, for instance, like you did back in the day?
I would say the most important thing is get the right people around you. So make sure that the people that are on your coaching team or the people that are handling the stuff in the office or whatever it may be, the admin, make sure they know what they're doing. Because if you've got somebody who's good at admin or good at following up leads or whatever, it literally pays dividends on the back end, because you're not missing out on people coming through the door. Everyone that comes in is getting the right experience. The other thing as well, which I would say, and I'll be quite open and honest about this, is decide what you really want, because bigger is not always better. With bigger gyms just comes more problems, more issues, more people. And people are great, but also people can not be great as well. And we're lucky here that even though we've got 800 members, I can genuinely say we don't have anybody who I don't like. All of the members are nice people. I think it comes with the fact that the price point of CrossFit's a lot higher than pure gyms or
council gyms where it's 25 a month or something.
Our price points are higher than that, and with that comes people who tend to be professionals or students or whatever, and you don't tend to really get people who are here who aren't committed or are here to mess around. So we're very lucky that 99.9% of our members are great people. So you like being here and you like spending time around them. But I would say decide what you want, because if you want to make loads of money, you're in the wrong game. That's not what you do it for. You do it because you enjoy spending time with people and you enjoy making them better.
Pay per hour. You're on tuppence an hour.
I mean, just when you're answering Instagram messages at 12 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock at night. If you're right, if you broke it down per hour, you're getting paid next to nothing. But that's not why you do it. You do it because you love it, and you do it because you can come to work every day and you feel like you're having a jolly with your mates. That's why you do it ultimately. So I think it's just important for people to figure out what they actually want from having a gym. And it is different when it becomes work. It's a very hard transition to make. If people who open gyms, don't think that you have to clean toilets, you have to clean floors. We're lucky that we've got a cleaner now. But for the first 5-6 years, it was me and the guys who were cleaning the toilets and cleaning the floors and doing all that stuff. It's not that glamorous.
I think you should always clean maybe your own stick off the floor though.
Oh yeah, clean my own stick. I always go outside. That's why. I always go outside. Never on the floor.
That's quality. Just one other question about the box itself. Are you super happy with everything in the box? Yeah,
I mean we're gonna make some alterations, which we always try either buy more kit or change the space or whatever every year really. Obviously it is a trial and error. When we came into this thing, combining the gym side with the CrossFit side, we were one of the first, if not the first, to do it in the UK really. Gymbox had done it in London, but it's London. It's a completely different model. Anything works in London. I'm not saying that I don't have a good product, but anything works there in comparison to the northeast.
£250 a month.
Do you know what I mean? But we were one of the first people to really do it up here, so it was always going to be a trial and error and a bit of a learning curve. I feel like we've kind of got a good balance now, but we're going to make some changes in the new year and buy some new kit and things like that. And it's like I say, it's always just about learning and listening to members and figuring out what they want. They want more classes? Do they want more this, more that? Even with the programming and stuff as well.
One last thing about the programming. Do you always get all your let's say newbies from the on-ramp to always do the WODs? I know some of the gyms out there that maybe just they could maybe just do open gym all the time.
I think that's like the wrong way to go about it personally. I mean, we obviously have an open gym here all day, so
they can.
You can come in and do it, but we always encourage them coming to classes because that's like if you're paying £100 a month for a service and you're just coming to do an open gym, you're really not getting the best from the service. Like you want to come and be coached. Otherwise, you'd go and join David Lloyd or you'd go and join somewhere else, with a sauna and a swimming pool. Like I think if you're paying for a CrossFit membership, come and do the CrossFit classes because that's where you're going to get the most out of your money. You know, like you're going to get coached, you're going to get that feedback, you're going to get a program that's written for you. Although it's not purposely written for you, it's purposely written for the demographic of the gym. So it's taken in and addressing the weaknesses of the gym as a whole, and focus towards, for example, we've just changed all of our stuff around to focus towards a lot more gymnastics because when it comes around to the open, a lot of our members are super fit, but they might not have the ability to perform a muscle up or a bar muscle up, or they might have one or two, but they can't do them under fatigue. So
you certainly can't do 40 ring muscle ups.
Yeah, exactly. That was a big thing for a lot of people this year. It was like, right, I want to get to the rings and get a muscle up. So we've consciously put that work in there to try and develop our athletes and develop
just change the program around a little bit.
A little bit. Just not completely changed it, but we've just put a little bit more emphasis on the gymnastics side. But if you don't attend classes, you don't get the benefit of any of that. Like none of it. And it can just be as simple as like we're lucky to have Tim here, who's obviously got vast nutrition knowledge. But it can be as simple as asking your coaches, like, I'm really struggling with this movement. Like, is there an exercise I can do to help us?
Some accessory work.
Yeah, you can do this, and it's like 3 minutes of your coach's time, but that could save you a month or 2 months of getting closer to getting the movement that you want. Or could be a question, I'm doing this on my diet and I feel like I'm putting on a bit of fluff. All right, well, try cutting that out or try changing this around. Simple things that you get the benefit of. But if you're not here, you're not partaking in the classes, you just don't get.
I think one bit of advice I always tell people: just go to as many WODs as you possibly can there, and then do your open gym after. If you want to play around a little bit after, but at least though if you get yourself to a WOD that you're getting there's some intensity there, or there's a focus to the session, whether it be some ollie. There's a focus there, like you mentioned the ring muscle ups. You're going to learn something. A lot of guys when they go to open gym, you see them, there's no intensity, they're sitting there, they've got the phone out a little bit, and then just do a few lifts there, and they're kind of done. You think you haven't done anything.
Well, I think like a massive major selling point for CrossFit as well is the fact that you're in and out within an hour. And like, there's not many people finish a class and think, I could go again. They finish and they're like, it's a classic CrossFit picture, right? Rolling around on the floor, shirts off, sweating everywhere. Like, because like you mentioned, you've got that intensity there. And that's like a massive selling point for people. Like people always complain about not having enough time. But if you're coming in and messing around for 2 hours, then of course you're not going to have enough time. But I'm on to talk, so I've literally just talked about how I don't have much time. But if you come in and just do a class, you're in and out within an hour. And if if you've got to drive home, it's like say an hour and a half, and you're done. You don't have to do anything else for the day. And if you do that 4 times a week, providing your gym programming is good, you're going to hit everything that you need to hit. So you're done. You don't need to do anything else.
5 sessions a week, and then you can be like Jordan Wallace.
Might need more than that, but you'll be alright.
And that's us done then. Yep.
Cool.
Spot on.